let's start here. Mistake number one. Here I am at 17 years old at a cabin way up in the mountains that we used to go to as teenage boys. And here I am pointing a shotgun at my friend who's taking the picture of me. There you go, mistake number one. Probably after a few beers too. Let's get into more mistakes. So this cabin, my buddy, his last name was Eisenhower. I'm not giving any identifying information away. We'll use real names, just not first and last names. So Eisenhower's dad was a cop, and all these other cops from different jurisdictions owned this cabin in the mountains. Won't give out the name. And for some stupid reason, they trusted us to go there as teenage boys for the weekend. Yes, we would bring beer. You know where I'm going with this. So to get to this cabin, you had to have a four-wheel drive vehicle, and this path was almost vertical, full of ruts and mud. And then when you got there, had all the amenities of a house, great, awesome place. And we would go there by ourselves, a group of us, as teenagers with a lot of beer. Sometimes, we had this rule where as soon as you start cracking beers, the guns don't come out. And one time we brought girls too. Actually, it was a pretty respectable time, even though we all stayed the night there. It wasn't what you thought it was. But then we brought girls there. Jesus Christ. Most kids can't get away with stuff like this nowadays with all these Find My Phone apps and all these other, what do they call it? These Life 360 things. But anyway, so it was always a great time. So obviously, when you mix young men with alcohol and guns, it is never a good combination. So one thing Eisenhower would get mad at me about is shooting the shotgun one-handed. He would say the recoil can make the gun move and then shoot someone. So my argument was, well, Eisenhower, as soon as the gun recoils, when it was facing forward, by the time it recoils, all of the shot has already left the barrel and is probably 1,000 yards downrange. So he'd argue with me about that, but being next to people and shooting a shotgun one-handed is not the safest thing to do. Probably after a few beers too. So he has a .22 rifle, and we're standing by a pond, and it was always fun to shoot water. And I'm standing right next to him. And Eisenhower shoots a .22 right at our feet into the water, and then I feel this pain and this burn. No, I'm not claiming to have been shot in the leg, but the bullet ricocheted and stuck in my thigh. Just surfaced, but still, it hurt and it burned. And he said, oh, no, it was a shrapnel from a rock. So I pulled it out of my leg and bit into it, and it was hot. And I said, that's lead, dumbass. So his foolishness caused a ricochet to shoot me in the leg. Then we had our other buddies. So Chris was we won't use the Gen X term, we'll just say Chris was the wannabe. And Brandon was this passive kid. And we're all playing we're playing cards at night. And of course the beer's out. And all of a sudden, Chris, for some reason, has a shotgun in his hand. And he racks it and points it at Brandon's head, saying, yo, what the F? Yo, what the F? And we're like, dude, what's your problem, man? But we didn't think it was loaded. Oh, yeah, it was loaded. Because Chris just always had to start shit with people. Again, more stupidity. Then there's the big one, me. So I've always loved a shotgun, and I had it loaded, and we always tried to hit grouse. These things are very hard to hit. They fly out of the ground in a second, and they're really hard. You better be off safe and aiming at the time when one flies up in the air. So we're on a path. I'm with Eisenhower. I got the shotgun, and I cannot hit these things, so I chamber it and take it off safe and point it at low ready. So he's kind of next to me, to the front, but to the side of me. In a do's and don'ts about gun safety, I trip, squeeze the trigger, boom, and I shit you not, his hat flew off his head, and he froze and just stared at me, and I stared at him for about 10 seconds. And then he picks up his hat and shows me some birdshot holes in it, and then he starts wigging out on me. And I was just still shocked and frozen because I almost blew my buddy's head off. After that cabin trip, we all realized how stupid and dangerous we have been with firearms. And it is never a good combination to mix firearms with alcohol or young men with firearms because you don't respect guns. You don't have any respect for gun safety. And these are the things that can happen. Okay? We were very lucky. So after that, we started becoming very responsible, never touching guns after we started drinking. So now the last one was at night. So the cabin had this rule. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down for the toilet because you're in the mountains. There's not a whole lot of water. So basically, we were encouraged to use the potty outside. So even at night. So the only rule was if you heard an animal, you could grab a gun and go check it out. So it's nighttime, pitch black, in the mountains. We're all drinking. Chances are there's people going out to take a leak a lot. So all in the sun, Chris, the wannabe, says, "Yo, raccoon," in his stupid voice. So we all grab rifles, shotguns, and we just open the sliding glass doors and just unleash hellfire outside in the dark at nothing. More stupidity. What if one of us was outside taking a piss? You get it? Like, if you're gonna own guns, yes, get some training, take safety courses. And if you're young, please don't do it. Don't ever start drinking and picking up guns, especially as a young lad, a young male. This is what could happen. So, quick video just to give you a little history, but yeah, I've been into guns my whole life, shooting BB guns at glass bottles sitting on a train, 22s, rifle BB guns ever since I was a kid. But after these experiences was when I really started getting into guns, safety, and then everything else from there. So take that information, my stories, they're true, they're not lies. And please be safe with guns. Semper Fi. Yeah. No, the producer took off today.